Hi everybody, how are you doing? I hope you're well. Thanks for joining me here at Friendship Shaving. I've just got water on my glasses so I couldn't see you very well there. Let's just see if we can wipe that off a little bit. Can't quite see where it is, I've just got a big smudge now. I've got a sample of Ariana and Evans's soap that was made for a British wet shavers group, and that's literally all I know about it, except to say that it is Peter Charkalis's new formula, and I really wanted to check that against the soap that I used last week, the Ariana and Evans Pamplemousse. Now, I've used this about 4 times, and I have to say that while it is a mildly scented soap, I do like the scent. It has really grown on me. And I know in the last video I talked about it not being a very slick soap. Now, I know in making these videos we tend to be a little sort of picky. Now, that's not to say it's a bad soap, it's just not as slick as some of the other soaps that I've used. So it'll be interesting to see how this new formula from Ariana and Evans performs in comparison. Now, I've got a new ceramic shaving bowl today. Look at that, isn't it beautiful? It's let me hold it close so you can see the pattern. It's blue, and I like blue. This was sent to me along with a loan of some razors by another YouTuber, Graham, aka Flash Boredom, and I feel like I should say, hello guys, this is a non-shaving shaving bowl, because it's actually a soup bowl. And you can see I've got my soap squashed against the bottom there. This was £2.50 and it is a great bowl. And I wanted to show you today that you can use any bowl to lather up with. So I'm going to use, reaching across for my vintage rubber set with a synthetic knot, and I'm going to lather up using this fabulous soup bowl. I think it is absolutely terrific. Now, I did a little comparison with some other bowls that are on the market. You can see that this is my normal bowl from the Pereira Shavery, the Pear Tree Shavery. And I've done a sort of little comparison just to see what prices shave bowls are. Now, the Crown King Scuttle comes in at about £30. And then there is also the Fine Accoutrements shaving bowl, which is very similar to the one I've just shown you, and that's about £30 as well. There are lots of other bowls. I liked the Proraso one, but that is described as a Proraso shaving mug, and that comes in at £11, but it is a bit smaller than the others. And of course, if you're looking at something like a vintage old spice mug, well, they're about £25, but sometimes more online. So I just wanted to really use this bowl and show you that, if you're starting out and you haven't got a bowl and you haven't got much money, you don't need an expensive bowl with fins in it and lumps on the bottom and things like that. If you have a bowl like that, it's really good for breaking in your brush. For example, you know, if you had a brand new ball bristle brush and you wanted to break it in, split the ends a little bit. It's really helpful for that. But in terms of building a lather, any bowl will do, honestly. My first bowl was a homemade one. Well, it wasn't homemade, but I made it myself at a place called Dartington Hall. I went out there with somebody that I loved very much. We had a lovely day out. And there was a lady there with a potter's wheel, and for £5 you could sit down and make a bowl. Now, for ages I kept my car keys in it and just loose change. But when I started wet shaving, that was the first bowl that I used, because it didn't have a handle like this. So eventually it slipped out of my hands and smashed to pieces on the floor. And I'm just adding a drop of water here, just off my fingertips into this bowl. Let me tell you, I was gutted to lose that bowl. But it served its purpose very well. The next bowl I used was one of a set of 6 of my great-great-grandmother's bowls. A glass bowl, and I snuck it out of the kitchen. And when my mum saw it in here, first thing she said was, "You can get that bowl back in the kitchen." So that was my second bowl, and after that, I must admit, I kind of became suckered into buying shaving bowls, you know, with fins and lips and. But look, there's a lather I've just made while I've been chatting to you. Let me hold it a little bit further away from the camera there. I've still got plenty in here, so you can see that it works very well indeed. Now the razor, I haven't mentioned the razor yet. I've got a little bakelite razor. Now I think this is the Merkur 45. Now I know a lot of people don't get on with this, but I like it very much. The only marking on it is around the base here. And I know you can't see that very well, but it says made in Germany. Now I've got, what have I got? I've got the Gillette Sharp Edge. Do you remember the one I used in my Jibs razor last time around? And I'm just going to pop that straight in there, and this will be its second use. He says, there we go, got it. Now I've been getting a really good shave with this razor. You can see it aligns quite nicely. Look at the curve on it though. There does seem to be a large, you can maybe see that the back better than the front, but a large, there we are, that's better. There's a large blade gap on that. But the blade exposure is not very great at all, and I find it gives me a really good shave, but a very comfortable shave. I've got a lovely sheen on this. Now straight away putting this on, it feels much like this one did. It's got a lovely creaminess to it, and it feels very cushioning. Let's have a little more lather. So Graham, I hope you'll forgive me my terrible impression of you, and accept my grateful thanks for this this bowl, which I like a lot. Now Graham has loaned me 5 slant razors, which I'm going to be using on the channel in future shaves. And in fact I'm going to be talking more about that probably on Sunday, when I intend to do a Sunday sit down. Let's just add a little drop of water to this now. I don't know why, but I'm getting a tingling all over my face, but particularly on my top lip. So maybe there's something in this soap that doesn't like me. I certainly did not have anything like this with the pamplemousse soap, which is the old formula. Now the Merkur 45. I like this. You know, I think you can hear already that it's really taking the hair off, and I've got a couple of days of growth here. Do you know, I think this is great. It's obviously super lightweight. But yeah, if I was travelling anywhere, I think this would be the one I'd take. So I'm finding, because of that blade gap being quite large, that there we are, that's a better view, isn't it? There's a little bit of blade feel there, which I quite like. But also, because of the curve on the razor and the lack of blade exposure, I'm finding it to be really comfortable and really efficient. Now I've been thinking, and I broached this a little bit in the group, I've been thinking of starting to mark the razors and razor blades that I use. And I wondered if you could suggest any categories or headings that might be useful. So obviously the ones that I've thought of are comfort. How comfortable is it? Maybe blade feel is another one. Efficiency, that's obviously got to be in there. I'm trying recently to stay away from expressions like, an aggressive razor versus, a mild razor. I thought, and I know it's been done before, but I thought I could describe that in a better way by giving, say, marks out of 5 for each category. So, for example, you might have a mild razor or a comfortable razor that's very effective, or not, as the case may be. So I just wondered what your thoughts were on that, really. Yeah, and I'll talk more about that on Sunday when I've been able to give it a little bit more thought. I had a bit of bad news yesterday, so really my head is all over the place at the moment. So while there were some suggestions in the Facebook group, I haven't been in a position to take them in yet. Ooh. Yeah, I won't talk about that anymore really, but except to say, this is a shaving channel, but of course I put myself and my personality into this, and there are times when things bother me, and this provides a little bit of an outlet. Anyway, we'll leave it at that for now. Oh yeah, I tell you what, this soap does not like me. Now, I don't often have that. Thankfully, I don't often have that, but I've definitely got it now. So, because of that, I'm going to make this my last pass. Now, is this soap slicker than the one I used last week? It feels it. It definitely feels it. But of course, my apologies for not doing this. What I really should have done was to use the same razor. Because the material of this razor is obviously different to the chrome razor that I used last week. And my lip's gone completely numb there. Oh yeah, it feels like I've been shot up with Novocaine. That's it. Oh yeah. Now, excuse me, just going to run some fresh into my sink here and soak my cloth. There we are, put my bowl up there. That's a great bowl, by the way. Really good size, £2.50, that's fantastic. It was reduced from £5. So yeah, thank you Flash, that's a terrific bowl. I am a bit worried about dropping it in the sink though. Because as some of you will know, not only have I dropped and broken my first proper lather bowl, but I've also dropped an Old Spice bag into the sink and completely smashed the sink and had to have a new one. Well, I exaggerated there, I didn't smash the sink, I just had a whacking great crack in it. I'm always amazed that the Old Spice mug was undamaged. I mean, it's a vintage glass mug, completely undamaged. Excuse me, I'm going to run more water. I want this off my face as much as I can get it. Sorry about that, I know the video will pick that up and it'll be really loud, my apologies. It's an odd thing, isn't it, when soaps do that? Oh, can't see for the steam. Well, that is my shave with the Merkur 45. The newer version I don't like. I've been told by a gentleman, and my apologies sir, but I've forgotten your name, that Merkur changed the colours in 2010. And the one now has a black guard with this sort of maroon colour handle and head cap, but it's like camouflaged, it's splattered with black, so it's maroon and black, and I don't like that at all. I think this is a much better colour. It's not my favourite, but do you know what? I think it works really, really well. Now I'm looking for Boredom green. It's over here. I know you will have your own view, but honestly, Boredom green is the best cheap aftershave on the whole planet. Now I've got, with that razor, 2 passes, as you saw. Got an amazing shape. Really nice. I've just missed a tiny, tiny bit there. The slightest. Do you know what? I'm going to ignore it. Under my neck, on my neck and under my chin, I've got it great. Just and a tiny bit there on my awkward spot. But you know, those 2 tiny, tiny bits aside, that to me is a great razor, a great razor. So that is my shave. Gentlemen and ladies, for this week, I hope you enjoyed it. I'll try and come back with a more organised shave next time around. And I'll talk about what I intend to do more on the Sunday sit down. But for the meantime, go and find yourselves a Super Bowl, because this one is really awesome. All the best now. Take good care. I'll see you next time around. Bye bye.